Hi everyone, I'm Jillian McGuffey. I am a writer and producer for The Cellar, and we're going to talk today on this panel of actors and directors to chat a little bit about The Cellar. I would love for you all to introduce yourselves. So I'll start with Craig, who I see first on my screen.
Hi, I'm Craig. I created The Cellar. It's part of the Hurtniverse. I'm also Stone in it. Yeah, excited for this.
Thomas,
Hi everyone, I'm Thomas Augusto. I play Huntley both in Heart and The Cellar.
Lexi,
Hi, I'm Lexi, and I am May in The Cellar.
John,
Hi, I'm John, and I play Emmett in The Cellar. I'm also a producer.
and Chance.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chance, and I play Linus in The Cellar.
Awesome. So we're going to start off just by asking if one of you all can provide a recap of the season so far.
I can do it. I feel like I can do that. So the season takes place. If you've seen Hurt season 3 before that, if you haven't, then good. And it follows a group of workers at the Cellar, which is a liquor store, after their friend Griff has left under not great circumstances. And as the season goes on, they begin to realize some different things, such as that Sailor is growing a bit unhappy with his role there, and he's starting to try quit vaping, become a better person. We've got April, who works the register, and she's got some secret dream that she told Lilac, but not anyone else. Her sister May came in and worked with them a bit, and she got fired for tackling somebody, but she's back again because Lilac left, and so they had to have a big recruitment drive, and all they got from that was May again and Finn from Hurt. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else important I'm missing. I think that those are the big plot points.
Awesome. I'm going to come back to you, Craig, and ask, what else can we expect going into the rest of this first season of The Cellar?
A lot of craziness as per usual. We're going to take a bit of a detour from the usual Cellar stuff to kind of play around with. We're going to have Finn guest starring from Hurt, and so it's just a really cool experience to have Alvin there and to explore what his character's been up to, what leads up to the events of Hurt Season 3 with him. But then we're also going to get a ton of really good stuff with the characters. We've had Mac introduced. As usual, we have Oscar, and we get to go a little bit more into some of the side characters and what they're going through. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. If anyone else has anything else to say about what viewers can expect, then
I'll keep it moving. I want to ask the group, what drew you to this project?
I can start with that, I guess. So I was interested in Hurt. I saw Craig and how he's been progressing as a writer and a producer. And I just thought it would be super cool to lend my talents, and it's an honor to work with him.
So I was relatively new into advertising myself as a voice actor, pretty mainstream, and I saw saw The Cellar pop up as an auditionable role, and after looking at Hurt and everything and seeing everything that Craig has put together so far, definitely wanted to be a part of it. And it seemed like a really fun project to work on. So,
Yeah, and I got interested about Heart for the second season. And I remember I wanted to audition to a character. It didn't work. But then a couple weeks or months later, Craig reached out to me offering the role of Huntley. And I accepted because I really wanted to be in Hurt. And the character is a very funny and interesting type of character that I like playing. It's one of my types, the stoner kind of guy, the kind of comic relief and kind of
Oh,
that everybody likes. Everybody has a friend like that, and I feel like my looks help with that. The beard, that long hair. So it
I,
was amazing. I loved playing it on Hurt, and I was
mm,
honored to be invited to be on the Cellar, and we have a great amount of fun playing the Cellar as well. And it's good to see Huntley's story expanding in the podcast.
I will say, I think that the other role Tomas auditioned for was Sailor, because we lost our because we had a different set of Sailor and Huntley between seasons 1 and 2 of Hurt, and then I think we lost the Sailor first, and then the problem we had with Tomas's the Sailor was that they looked very very different, and we were afraid people wouldn't be able to tell um, these are the same person. So we went with Bryce, who looked more like Caden had. And then, so that's just funny that you bring up looks. And then the Huntley quit, Ari, and we were like, wait, this guy has long hair. Tomas has long hair. He did a good job on his audition.
It's a
Let's
perfect.
do
Well,
that.
good to know that I got a no because of my looks and not because of my lack of talent. So
Yeah.
thank you for revealing this to me now. I feel much better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. Yeah. Let's
Good
do
question.
that for now.
Okay. So I'd love to hear a little bit about what surprised you about this project.
I can start. I went into this was my first experience with audio, like anything. Like I've never listened to a podcast besides one in school. I've never like done one before, and I was really surprised by how challenging it is in its own regard, but also how much better this group clicked in some ways than the Hurt group. Not in the sense that the Hurt group didn't click, but it's constantly people in and out. It's a bigger thing to commit to. Whereas we had a core group of people in this, and the people who couldn't fit into their schedule kind of filtered out, and then we were able to sell into a rhythm, and we found a lot of like inside jokes and funny things and ways to connect. So it was funny because even though it was remote, it was a much tighter knit group than Hurt was.
Yeah, I really got interested in playing Huntley again. So, of course, when Craig mentioned the possibility, I was really glad and excited. And also because having the chance of doing a voiceover work, you don't need to, be on set and travel for hours, especially because I am far from where Heart was shot, and usually I had to travel to shoot Heart. And having the chance of doing a podcast, first is a type of work I never did before, and second, it's easier to fit in the schedule because each person is at their own places. So it was very convenient, and I wanted to try this experience of just voice acting as well.
Yeah, I think for me, it was something I've never really done before. So I was excited to just try something new and met a great bunch of people. I think we all got along pretty well and put out a pretty good podcast. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we won Best Ensemble Cast at Miami Web Fest, so that
Yeah.
was
There you go.
To go to my about it.
Congrats, team.
Oh, I think we lost Chance. I'm going to jump to John.
Oh yeah. So for me, it's largely unlike most of the people that have been a part of the Cellar. I was a voice actor before I had started with the Cellar. A lot of what I had done had been like audiobooks, narration. I've done voiceovers for YouTube channels and everything like that. So being able to do like an ensemble style podcast or audio series was a different experience than from what I've experienced before. So it's definitely a big jump being in a group and all recording at the same time and kind of having that like back and forth rather than having to send in an audio where all I'm doing is talking to myself. So
Yeah, getting to bounce off other people.
right.
All right. The next question I have is, what is your favorite episode that you've worked on so far? And don't feel pressured to say my episode. I know that you all recorded it, but I won't remind you which one it is until later. So you can't, there's no biases.
I think for me, it would be for anyone who doesn't know the numbers, I can quickly run through them. But number one was the one, it was like the pilot, so it was just they're trying to close early. It was a little bit like nothing special happening, just kind of setting up the characters and stuff. And we had some people as part of that who aren't part of it anymore. The second one was, oh gosh, I can't remember now. Stone gets tipped like $100, and
Yeah.
Then May comes to work at the Cellar. Then they get haunted in that one episode, and then there was the fight between Sailor and Huntley, and then Lilac leaves, and then the last episode that's released is what's it called? Them recruiting. And then so the next episode, which hasn't come out yet, and then the ones after that all kind of explore different things. But like you can say those, you just have to be a little bit more cagey about that. But I'll say my personal favorite to do was the one that just released, number 7, the We Want You one. I thought it was so wonderfully chaotic, and it was really funny. And that one, and kind of the one after that, 8-2, people did some really funny voices. It really clicked for me.
My favorite one was the one that we were haunted, and I had to explore, and we had everything from someone jumping in the trash, right? And it was a great episode. I don't know. I feel like that type of mood is something that is pretty interesting. So it was a funny one to play. I liked it. And the pilot, I like it as well because, it's when I started this type of voice work and when I could bring Huntley back. So that was also really exciting for me, even though it wasn't the biggest plot that we had so far.
Yeah.
It's a good pilot.
Yeah. I would say May's return episode was probably my favorite one. It is one of the funniest ones that we did. And recording it was honestly like just hilarious because everyone it took us so long to record a relatively short episode because everybody like couldn't stop laughing while recording, so we had to keep pausing the entire time. Which the most recent episode that we did too, which in my opinion is one of like the funniest episodes we've done, happened exactly the same way. And I think the episodes that we record that we all you can very clearly tell we're enjoying recording it are always my favorite. So.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Chance or Lexi, you want to jump in?
I think my favorite one was also the haunted episode. So I used to actually work in a liquor store, and we had a lot of like inside jokes and like, oh, the ghost moved the bottle on the shelf type of thing. So it was very funny to be able to relate to that, but in a way that isn't affecting my personal life. I'm a little afraid. But it was just, so much fun to record with everyone. And like previous people have said, it takes so long to record because we're having so much fun with it.
That sounds great. Chance, what about you?
Yeah, definitely gonna go with the haunted one. That's the one I really remember. We I always love part of the reason I joined the Cellar was because I was working on a scat film in Atlanta, and one of the makeup people was had connections with Craig, who was looking for people to voice Linus, like looking for voice actors and stuff. And as someone who loves animating and is really fond of voice actors, I decided to give it a shot. But one thing I really love about voice acting is like how we're able to like, come together despite living in different parts of the world, and like really come together and like collaborate, like having a group voice session. That way we can build natural chemistry within each other. I think the haunted episode is definitely a good example of that, as well as the recent one we did where I get drunk off my ass and like basically expose this British dude for like being a fraud. That was a lot of fun.
That was pretty.
Yeah, we have to. We are re-recording that one for small tweaks. So you get
That's
to
fine.
do it again. So
Sweet.
Love that.
I forgot what it
That's a
was
good one.
called. Yeah, that was a
that
fun
one
one.
was Liam's. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We because Liam's British, there's a lot of British phrases here we didn't really know. Craig gives the warning about that as a heads up.
That's funny. We have the last question that I'm going to ask you all is what's something you're really excited for the rest of the season?
I can go. So I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing how everyone's is. I'm looking forward to recording with these wonderful people. So much fun. Highlight of my night whenever I get to do it and talk.
Oh. Y'all are making me want to join.
Yeah. We can make a character for you. And yeah.
I am excited to see what else Huntley is gonna go through and live, and what other stupid jokes I'm gonna make, and stupid thoughts and childish behavior. And I want to see the finale of the season and see if we might come back for a second season. Who knows?
We'll see.
Right, Craig? Right, Jillian? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's safe to say that we have plans for a second season. Whether or not they come to fruition is another thing, but we have a really strong plot for a second season. And
Nice.
I think that the end of the first season really sets that up in an interesting way. And I think that it does a lot of interesting things with the characters who we have. And sets things up for more characters, some new situations. Yeah.
We have plans for what, 10 seasons, right?
No.
Definitely 10
Our-
seasons.
Our current outline we currently have it going out to a certain point, and then after that we're like we love doing this. Like if we get the chance to keep doing it, maybe we could do something else. But the Cellar as a story is really kind of consolidated to a certain number of seasons that we have played.
Does anyone else want to weigh in?
I'm excited to see what kind of new faces we're going to bring to the Cellar.
Yeah, some new characters are definitely going to pop up.
See if any other new creatives and collaborations we can make within the Hurt universe and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna have to go back on Backstage. I hate Backstage so much.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
I'm not a big fan either. We can use other casting platforms, or just like invite friends.
I hate doing all of them. I hate casting in general. No offense, everyone. It's because I just listen to things and I'm just like, they're amazing, and everyone else is just like, well, don't you want more of this or that? And I'm like, oh, I guess. And so I always need other people on casting because I just think everyone is amazing at acting, because that's not really my thing. And I think everyone does a really good job in their own way of acting. Even though there's like technicalities to it and like precision that I don't always understand. But like that's one thing I don't like is I don't like casting. And I usually have gut feelings towards people usually. And I'm just like, oh, this person seems cool. This person seems cool. So
Yeah, casting is definitely not an easy thing. That's why they are starting to give awards for casting, right? And but acting is very subjective. So if you like someone's acting, that's good for you. There's nothing wrong about you liking someone.
Of course. Like
Even
all
though-
art is, in a way, subjective
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Like,
All
one
artists-
man's track. What was that, Thomas?
All artists, sorry guys, I'm not American. All artists are unique in all types of fields in art. So they all have something to bring, something to create that is going to be unique. It might be bad for someone, it might be good for someone else. So you never know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's one thing I appreciate about the Cellar is I think it actually made me better for Hurt going into Hurt season 3 because I practiced the stone a lot more and I understood how to modulate my voice, for lack of a better term, and like lean more into certain aspects more. Because like I'm not an actor by trade. Like I wanted to do that growing up, but my theater teacher hated me,
Oof.
and
Brutal.
B I told my parents I was like I want to do some acting, and they were like no. They're like, no,
Oh,
you're a writer. You're not an actor. That wouldn't work
Yikes.
well for you. And
How?
and it's funny because to this day they maintain whenever I'm like, oh, I got an acting nod for Hurt, they're like, really, you did? And I'm like,
Really?
oh,
but they
They
see
did.
it more
They
now
really
with the
did.
last season because I improved a lot. But they were
Yeah.
just like, because
No, that's
I think
good.
a big part of it is the autism because I come off in a certain like flat way, I sometimes it's harder for me to express things
Oh,
in the
if you
way that people are used to.
a flat,
People express in many different ways. So. Sorry, Lexi. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, if you play like a flatter character, or a character like with autism or something, I'm like, that's just more authentic,
Yeah.
you
But I
know?
had to fight with so many directors during Hurt. That's one reason why I'm like, I'm kind of glad we don't have directors for the Cellar,
Mhm.
besides me, because they would be like, we need you to express more. And I'm like, but I'm playing an autistic character and this is how you would do it. Like, I see like there are layers like you do have to express, but like sometimes they were like telling me express this way. And I had to be like, no, this isn't how Stone will do it.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
also, you are the creator. Like, and I feel like you're doing like a great job for your character. Like, I know the directors are supposed to direct and everything, but I feel like you found a great place for Stone, and I'm really happy. It's like the way you play it. It's especially like the scenes we have together. I feel like it's so funny, and it's such a great connection. The way that I am kind of exaggerated as Huntley, and you're like flat, and I feel like it's a great contrast, and this is good because you don't need everybody to be super expressive. It's nice to have nuances because in real life there are people who speak in a more flat tone and they're not as expressive. So that's real life,
yeah.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
of course.
Yeah,
I was going to turn it over. I was just going to mention that I'm really excited for whenever my episode releases. And in case anyone's curious, it's R.I.P. Bessie, which is episode 11. I believe you all already recorded it, but it was so much fun to write. I had never written anything like sitcom before. And so when Craig gave me the opportunity, I was kind of nervous, but then getting to write it was actually so fun. So I'm hoping to write some more episodes in the future. And I hope it was a fun one to record.
it was for sure.
Yeah. And so I want to open it up now. You all have already kind of had some discussions, but just before we sign off, just if anyone wants to ask each other any questions or just have a little bit of a discussion about the season, I'll turn it over to you all.
Well, I just want to say that I had fun doing all of them, and it was a great experience for me. And the best part is when we make mistakes and when we laugh, when we have to redo stuff. But a good thing about voice acting is, when you record a line, you don't need to cut and start all over again. You just say that line again. You just repeat it, and the editing part of it, it's so much easier than when you have image and sound. So
Craig's like, I don't know if it's that much
yeah,
easier, but yeah, it's
well,
just different.
I know what you're
I
saying. It has been
yeah,
driving me crazy a bit lately, but I'm
yeah,
happy with how things have been coming out. So
it's different. Yeah. So yeah, I've been having fun. I don't know. I'm thinking about questions for Craig, but let's see what someone else
um,
has to say.
if no one else has anything that they want to say immediately, I just want to quickly, because people spend a lot of time saying really nice things about me. I just want to go around and quickly say some things while we're here. Tomas, I really appreciate you because you've always, like, you come from really far away. You put, for both Hurt and the Cellar, you put like all this energy into delivering this really like special performance as Huntley. Like, it's always like in the reviews for Hurt season 3, people were shouting that out a lot. They were like, "This is a really special character," and I really appreciate the fact that you've carried on from Hurt into this, and it's not what you're used to necessarily, but you can't even tell because you do like a really good job with Huntley, and I just think that's really cool. And Lexi, obviously, you've been my friend for forever. But I really appreciate you tackling this, and you haven't mentioned this, but you're a co-showrunner for the rest of the Cellar season 1, and your May is really good. I picked you as May because I was like, you're gonna play off of Rory so well, and I think that's true. I think you match each other's things well. I think that you've also done a good job making May really interesting on her own way with her disguises and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then, John, obviously, you've been a huge asset to this because you have experience, you're very collected about things, and you do a really good job. So I really appreciate you and your guidance, and also you just doing such a good job on this. And Chance, I mean, we can't say enough about your versatility in terms of like the voices. Like you're Linus, and then you're like one of those like old lady customers. It's just like it's really crazy. So
Thanks, I try.
and I skipped over Jillian. I really appreciate you. I know you always have a lot going on, that you find time to contribute to these things, Hurt and the Cellar, and you also found time to do your own really cool thing, Pushing Through. If anyone's in the area, they should come to her premiere. I still have to look into that myself, but the July 25th, I think it is.
Yeah, you
in
got
Baltimore. And she also just has done a lot for Hurt in the Cellar, and like I'm so happy to have someone else on the writing team too. So yeah,
happy to do it. All right. I think we can close off and just say thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to answer some questions, and this was really fun.
Of course, it was really fun.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.